we're still in exposing season. I'm so grateful that all these secrets are coming out by these demonic ass family. So today let's talk about my auntie Delois Jenkins. Delois Jenkins. They call her as D. If you find her pictures on social media, she has Facebook. I will definitely confirm if it's her or not. She's dark skinned with some short ass hair. Anyway, so basically she was dating this man named Charles who worked at McDonald's and KFC. Now, when we would go over to her house, this was around the time when Empire had came out, because you know when Empire was like showing up like once a week, like when they was actually airing the episode. So it was the episode when it was Anika versus Andre's wife when they was on the balcony. If y'all remember when they fell, well, when they showed that one of them fell off, the episode went off. So you had to wait to the next week to find out if it was Anika or Andre's wife that had fell off the balcony. And it was Andre's wife. So I remember that next week we didn't go over there to watch Empire with them. And I had reached out to her and asked her like who was the one who fell off the balcony, and that's what she told me. And I noticed like her communication with me kind of slowed down. Like she wasn't really responding as much. I was trying to like link up with her, and she would say she like was going out of town for work. And I'm talking about the daughter, by the way. Like she just had a few reasons, and I was like, I feel like her mom, Delois, is trying to keep her away from me. So I end up going to over there one day by myself. I remember going over here to wash my clothes because our washer wasn't working. And I remember when I went over there, she was like, I'm finna get my clothes out the washer and then you could put yours in next. And I remember her offering me some spaghetti. She's like, you want some of this spaghetti while you wait to put your clothes in? And I was just like, nah. And I remember getting the thought that she was poisoning her daughter named Keisha through the actual spaghetti. I was like, bro, she's doing shit to the spaghetti and she's feeding it to her daughter. Now, Delois ends up telling me that Keisha done went out of town. She got her boyfriend, and that, you know, she think that Keisha is pregnant. So mind you, she told me that the guy who Keisha is with, she was like, he be cheating on her, and that's what made me think that she had sex with him. Also, she ends up going into details about her old boyfriend, basically Keisha daddy, and she was just like, you know, she ended up moving out. So Delois was the type of woman who wanted a man to pay her bills at whatever cost. Because Charles, he was a drunk. But when I would go over there, when, you know, me and my adopted mom would go over there to watch Empire, he wasn't aggressive in sight, you know, but it's no telling what drunks do or how they are behind the scenes. Like, he was cool as hell to me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, he was a funny ass man. I used to like dap him up every time I seen him at McDonald's. You know, he would tell me slide through the drive-through if I wanted, you know, something free. So he just kind of had the personality to like the exterior that he was a kind man. Do you not know that Delois proceeds to tell me, she's like, I think that Charles touched on Keisha. So I'm like, what makes you think that? And she's like, because somebody told me. Mind you, the only people who be in the house is Delois, D, Keisha, and Charles. So how did somebody else tell you? Did somebody else tell you, or do you know for sure it's going on because you literally sent him in her fucking room? She ends up telling me that one day Keisha told her that he did do it to her when he was drunk. And I was like, and what did you do? And she was like, I didn't do nothing because I was scared. And it's like, was you scared or did you want your bills paid? I think that you wanted your bills paid. Not only that, she told me that Charles had just got out of, so before she moved in with Charles, right? Charles had just got out of prison for raping his own daughter. So you knew he had a history of that. When he told you he just got released for that. And not only that, she said that he told her when he did it, he was drunk. So I knew then that she was purposely setting her daughter up to get molested long as he was paying them bills. Mind you, Dee and Charles are not together at this time. I'm talking about at this time as in today. They're not together. Now, I'm looking at her like, girl, what the fuck do you mean you was scared? Like, put him out just exactly like you're broken up with him now. So what was the difference then? Like, you broke up with him then for something else, but like you didn't say anything about him touching your child. You did not even protect your child. You did not nurture your child. I remember when Dee would call my mom to take her and Keisha to the clinic, and Keisha was older than me, so I never knew what they was doing at the clinic because I didn't need to go to the clinic. So I would like sometimes I would stay in the car or I would like stay in the front lobby. And it was this one time I went in there and I saw one of my classmates in there and she was crying. And I was like, she either got that shit or she's pregnant and her mama is about to make her get rid of it. And I think it was the second one. Because them tears did not look like tears from an STD. Like, most of the time when people go to the clinic and find out that they have an STD, it's probably something that can be cured. But the look on her face was like she was finna go through some shit that she didn't want to go through. Like, it looked detrimental. Now, I'm not saying people probably don't cry if they find out they have an STD, but I've never been in that situation, so I can't really say is that their exact emotions. But I'm just saying, like, from an outsider perspective, it looked like the way she was breaking down, like she probably was finna have to get an abortion. And I knew that she was going through a breakup with somebody she had been with for a long time, because they was one of the couples that like got together in middle school and was together, you know, until high school. When they broke up and he had got with somebody else, it just didn't even look right, because she never dated nobody else again. Like, it was that type of couple. But of course the dudes always moved on, but he moved on to somebody who was money hungry. And then that girl was a stalker and literally harassing his ex, the one that I seen in the clinic. And the one that I seen in the clinic, she was talented. She made like clothes for a living. She was not even, you know, like she wasn't messy. That wasn't her. So when she lost the fight, like, nobody even clowned her, because like, we know that's not you. We know that's not your lane. Mind you, she stayed right down the road from her ex. So anyways, back to the story about D and Keisha. So that's when I first found out that Keisha was on birth control. So basically, D had put Keisha on birth control so that Charles could molest her and ejaculate inside of her free willingly without her getting pregnant and leaving any evidence. There also was this story, you probably still can Google it, I can't remember the names, but basically it was this family of three. It was the mom, the dad, and two daughters, and the oldest daughter had 3 kids, and on the third child, that is when the hospital connected the dots that the father of her kids was her own father. Mind you, the mom was literally allowing this man to do this to this child. And the child came out and said that her dad used to tell her to go in the closet and basically would tell her that they was going to play a game. And she said that even if it hurt, that he still would tell her that she needed to do it. Like, just fucking sick and pathetic how some moms will literally set their child up to get molested for whatever reason. Mercedes' mama did the same exact thing. My adopted mom tried to do the same exact thing. When I text her and told her that her dad tried to touch on me, she literally didn't even respond. And then when I confronted her about it in person, she flipped the script on me and told me that nobody protected her when whatever happened to her. Well, she was like, well, if you're going to be mad at me, I have to be mad at my mom and my grandmom too. And it's like, you sound childish and unhealed as fuck. But the matter of the fact is that a lot of moms will set their child up to get touched on because they want their innocence gone. They want their child to have a bad reputation. They want their child to look a mess. They want their child to go down a bad road because they are not what they want to be in life. They are so upset and unhealed at what happened to them as a kid that they will want it to happen to their own child. And long as her bills was getting paid, she literally allowed that man to touch on her and ejaculate inside of her and put her on the depot shot to cover up the fucking evidence. And then I asked D, I said, are you ever going to apologize to Keisha? She said, I can't face her. Like, I don't know what to say to her. I feel like I failed her. Do you feel like you failed her, bitch? Or are you feeling guilty? I think that you're feeling guilty, and you know that owning that comes with a lot of accountability, and it will come with accepting the fact that you let your daughter get raped. I remember also, like, by the end of that night, right? So she had told me, like, oh, I'm finna, she was like, do you want pizza? And I was like, sure. And she was like, I'm finna ask this man for $40 so I can order us some pizza. Do you not know that when he sent the $40, she was like, oh, I'm gonna put this $40 towards my light bill. So basically, she was using my energy to try to get approved for the $40. She also had confessed to me that she done had sex with people when she was thinking, and she was like, that men don't care. They just still was pumping, just trying to get a nut. And I was like, that's just sick and it's very sad. Justice for Keisha.